Okay na po, Atty.
Okay, good afternoon. Welcome to the pre-bid conference under Section 51 of RA 12009, otherwise known as the New Government Procurement Act, and its implementing rules and regulation to be conducted by the members of the BAC and DPWH present today. For contract ID number 25FH0061, organizational outcome, ensure safe and reliable national 002 plus 952 to K0003 plus 466, K00605 plus 901 to K0006 plus 558, Catanduanes, Circumferential Road, Catanduanes. Next is 25FH0062, Organizational Outcome 1, Ensure Safe and Reliable National Road System, Asset Preservation Program, Preventive Maintenance, Tertiary Roads, Junction Bato-Baras Road to K0011 plus 936 to K0012 plus 144, Junction Bato-Baras Road, Catanduanes. Next is 25FH0063, Bridge B00015CN along Catanduanes Circumferential Road, San Miguel, Catanduanes. Next is 25FH0064, Organizational Outcome 1, Ensure Safe and Reliable National Road System, Bridge Program, Rehabilitation, Major Repair of Permanent Bridges to Kilikilihan Bridge 1 B00010CN along Catanduanes Circumferential Road, San Miguel, Catanduanes. Next is 25FH0065, Convergence and Special Support Program, Construction Improvement of Access Roads leading to the Kilikilihan Tourism Destinations, Tourism Road Infrastructure Program, TRIP, Access Road from Birac to Bagamano leading to Luran Station, Luran Beach, Kinamarigan Beach, Sumagungsong Beach, Usbo and Roman Cove, Bagamano, Catanduanes, Bagamano, Catanduanes. Next is 25FH0067, Organizational Outcome 1, Ensure Safe and Reliable National Road System, Asset Preservation Program, Rehabilitation, Reconstruction, Upgrading of Damaged paved roads, Secondary Roads to Catanduanes Circumferential Road to K0030 plus 386 to K0031 plus 495, K0036 plus 395 to K0037 plus 000 Catanduanes Circumferential Road, Catanduanes. Next is 25FH0068, Organizational Outcome 1, Ensure Safe and Reliable National Road System, Asset Preservation Program, Rehabilitation, Reconstruction, Upgrading of Damaged paved roads to Secondary Roads to Catanduanes Circumferential Road to K0050 plus 327 to K0050 plus 760 Viga, Catanduanes. Also, 25FH0077, Organizational Outcome 2, Protect Lives and Properties Against Major Floods, Flood Management Program, Construction Maintenance of Flood Mitigation Structures and Drainage Systems, Construction of Flood Mitigation Structure and Drainage Systems, Baras Catanduanes, Baras Catanduanes. And lastly, 25FH0093, Convergence and Special Support Program, Basic Infrastructure Program, BIP, Multipurpose Buildings, Facilities to Support Social Services, Construction of Multipurpose Buildings by the following, starting off with myself as the back chairperson, Attorney Munina M. Bataga, and the Chief of the Right of the Acquisition and Legal Division. On my right is Dr. Maria Chidora Pilo Santas, back vice chairperson, and the Chief of the Administrative Division. On my left is Engineer Benjamin Chiquete Jr., back regular member, and the Chief of the Quality Assurance and Hydrology Division. District Engineer Vivian G. Biaco, back provisional member as end user. And we have Engineer L.B. M. Nasaya, back at DPWH, and the Assistant Chief of the Construction Division. So, to discuss to us eligibility requirements as well as the financial and technical, we call on Engineer Mariel.
Compliance with the classy documents, interested legal, technical, and financial documents. Prospective bidders are encouraged to regularly update their respective records with the CWA in the following requirements. For classy documents, legal documents, number 1, registration registration certificate from SEC for corporation organizations, BDI for sole proprietorship, or CDA for cooperatives. Number 2, mayors for business permit issued by the city or municipality where the principal place of the prospective bidder is located, or the equivalent document exists in the example. The updated project registration shall be admitted in the technical document component of the bid to be considered eligible. The renewed mayor's or business permit shall also be submitted as a post-qualification requirement in accordance with Section 63.2 of the IRR of RA 12009. The same shall apply to the other Class A eligibility documents. Number 3, tax clearance for AO 398 series of 2005 as finally reviewed and approved by the Bureau of Internal Revenue. For technical documents, number 4, statement of the prospective bidder of all its completed nature and complexity to the contract value. Number 5, statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract or SLCC, similar to the contract to the bid except under conditions provided for in Section 52.4.2.4 of the IRR 18009. All of the above statements 4 and 5 shall include all information required in the PPDs prescribed by the GPT. For 52.4.2.4, the bidder must have completed an SLCC that is similar to the procurement project to the bid and whose value adjusted to current prices using the PSA consumer price indices must be at least 50% of the APC's exit, provided that any change to the 50% requirement may be allowed to the recommendation of the bidder shall be submitted to the GP for consideration. Provided further that the contractors under small A and small B categories without similar experience in the procurement project to the bid may be allowed to bid if the cost of such contract is not more than the allowable range of their registration based on the guidelines as prescribed by the DPWH. Moreover, a contract shall be considered similar to the procurement project if it has the same major categories of work. The procuring entity may clarify in the new documents what is regarded as major categories of work, guided by the principle of proportionality and fit for purpose approach. For the entire DPWH, determination of major categories of work are defined in Department Order 164 series of 2025. For 52.4.2.5, the SLCC shall be supported by a owner certificate of final acceptance issued by the project owner other than a contractor, or a final rating of at least satisfactory in the CPES, or a similar performance in monitoring system. In the case of contracts with the private sector, an equivalent document should be submitted. For 52.4.2.6, the computation of a bidder's NFCC must be at least equal to the ABC input, calculated as follows. NFCC equals current assets minus current liabilities. The awarded contracts have to be started coinciding with the procurement project review, provided that a different formula may be adopted subject to the recommendation of the procuring entity, which shall be submitted to the GPD for consideration. The value of the domestic assets and liabilities shall be based on the latest AFS submitted to the BIA. Each partner of the joint venture shall submit their respective fusion certificates of registration in accordance with Section 20.2.9.1 of this IRR. The submission of technical and financial eligibility documents by any of the joint venture partners constitute compliance, provided that the partner responsible to submit the NCC shall likewise submit a statement of all its ongoing costs. Number 6, valid finishing contractors accreditation board license or PICAB license, or a special PICAB license in case of joint ventures, and registration for the type and cost for the contract to be. For financial documents, number 7, the prospective bidder's audited financial statements showing, among others, the prospective bidder's total current assets and liabilities for the preceding calendar year, which should not be earlier than 2 years from the date of bid submission. Number 8, the prospective bidder's computation of net financial contracting capacity or NFCC. The computation of a prospective bidder's NFCC must be at least equal to the ABC to the bid calculated as follows. NFCC equals current assets minus current liabilities multiplied by 15 minus the value of all its outstanding or uncompleted portions of the projects under under outgoing contracts, including awarded contracts that will be started, coinciding with the contract rebate. The values of the domestic bidders' current assets and current liabilities shall be based on the latest audited financial statements submitted to the BIM. For Class B documents, joint venture bidders shall submit a JVA in accordance with RA 4560 in accordance with Section 20.2.9.1 of the IRR 12009. Submission of technical and financial eligibility documents by any of the joint venture partners constitute compliance, provided that the partner responsible to submit the NFCC shall likewise submit the statement of all its ongoing contracts and audited financial statements. Other technical requirements: if joint venture agreement, with securities applicable with securing declaration, ISO 9000 certification or its latest version if applicable, duly signed organizational chart, duly signed list of key personnel for the contract with supporting affidavits of commitment to work, on the contract with the key personnel NDO 98 series of 2016, revised guidelines of the accreditation of contractors or consultants material engineers. The minimum work experience requirements for the key personnel are the following. For the proposed positions applicable, project manager, years of experience for total similar and related 5 years, similar position 5 years, project engineer, total similar and related 3 years, similar position 2 years, materials engineer, total similar and related 3 years, similar position 3 years, foreman, total similar and related 2 years, similar position 2 years, construction safety officer. Other technical requirements: duly signed list of contractors, major construction and laboratory equipment, edge, and the contract. Please refer to DO 11 series of 2017 for the minimum materials testing equipment and strict application of section 63.8 of RA 12009 in relation to item 16.5 of the bidding document, the May 2025 edition. Certification as to the availability of equipment under lease agreement or under purchase agreement as being authorized, omnibus warrant statement. For the equipment requirements, for contract ID number 25FH0061, the minimum major equipment requirements are the following. Dump truck capacity is 12 cubic yard, required is 1. Backhoe breaker, capacity 0.80 cubic meter, required is 1. Bay loader, capacity is 1.50 cubic meter, required is 1. Road grader, motorized, all models, capacity is 163 HP, required is 1. Road roller, laboratory, 10 metric tons, required is 1. Water truck or pump, 16,000 liters, required is 1. Weight compactor, 5 HP, required is 1. Transit mixer, 5.0 cubic meter, required is 1. Joint sealer machine, required is 1. Cargo truck, 9 to 10 metric tons, required is 1. Tandem steel roller, 11 metric tons, required is 1. Pneumatic tire roller, 10 metric tons, required is 1. Kneading machine, required is 1. Applicator machine, required is 1. The equipments are dump truck, capacity is 12 cubic yard, number of unit is 1. Backhoe with breaker, 0.80 required is 1. Payloader, 1.5 roller vibratory, 10 metric tons, required is 1. Water truck or pump, 15,000 liters, required is 1. Weight compactor, 5 HP, required is 1. Cargo truck, 9 to 10 metric tons, required is 1. Asphalt distributor, 5 tons, required is 1. Asphalt paver, 80 HP, required is 1. Tandem steel roller, 11 metric tons, required is 1. Pneumatic tire roller, 10 metric tons, required is 1. Kneading machine, required is 1. Applicator machine, required is 1. Low bed trailer, required is 1. For ID number 25FH0063, the equipments are air compressor. For ID number 25FH0064, the equipments are air compressor, capacity is 15 to 35 cfm, required is 1. Gen set, 5 kilowatts, required is 1. For ID number 25FH0065, 0.65. Equipments are backhoe, capacity 0.18 cubic meter, required is 1. Walk behind roller, required is 1. 1 bagger concrete mixer, 4 cubic feet per minute, required is 1. Cargo or service truck, 9 to 10 metric tons, required is 1. Transit mixer, 5 to 6 cubic yard, required is 1. Payloader, 1.50 cubic meter, required is 1. Water truck, 16,000 liters, required is 1. Bulldozer, required is 1. Motorized road grader, required is 1. Road roller vibratory, required is 1. Concrete vibrator, required is 1. Concrete batch plant, required is 1. Concrete spreader, required is 1. Concrete saw, required is 1. Rebar cutter, single phase, required is 1. Joint sealer machine, required is 1.
Yung ating matching plant, walang requirement yan. With calibration equipment, walang requirement plan. Calibration.
Calibration certificate.
Wala. Ang lahat ng may matching plant.
Mga tignan mo sa dapat calibrate.
Calibrate.
Calibration certificate.
Wala. Chronogram nila, wala.
Wala nakalagay. Catanduanes. Wala nakalagay. Wala po.
Paano yan? Kung hindi natin nilalagay, hindi okay lang siya maski walang calibration.
Pero pwede naman mag-vibrate din sa natin.
Pwede naman.
Pwede po. Take note ko lang. Take note ko 7 days for being calibrated.
Pati yung mga survey equipment.
I-take note ko lang.
Sige po. Proceed.
For ID 25FH0067, equipments are bulldozer, capacity. Number of units is 1. Bulldozer with ripper, required is 1. Payloader, 1.50 cubic meter or 1.95 cubic yard, required is 1. Dump truck, 12 cubic yard, required is 1. Backhoe, 0.80 cubic meter or 1.05 cubic yard, required is 1. Backhoe with pavement breaker, 0.80 cubic meter or 1.05 cubic yard, required is 1. Backhoe wheel type, 0.28 cubic meter or 0.37 cubic yard, required is 1. Motorized road grader, 160 HP, required is 1. Road roller vibratory, 10 metric tons, required is 1. Water truck or pump, 16,000 liters, required is 1. Transit mixer, 5 cubic feet per minute, required is 1. Cargo or service truck, 9 to 10 metric tons, required is 1. Cargo or service truck, 2 to 5 metric tons, required is 1. Applicator machine, required is 1. Kneading machine, required is 1. Concrete vibrator, required is 1. Concrete batch plant with a plated calibration certificate, 30 cubic meter, required is 1. Concrete spreader, required is 1. Concrete saw, 14 inches diameter with 4/3 cutting depth, required is 1. Rebar cutter, single phase, required is 1. Joint sealer machine, required is 1. 1 bagger concrete mixer, required is 1. Bar bender, required is 1. Big compactor, required is 1. Low bed trailer, required is 1. For ID 25FH0068, equipments are payloader, capacity is 1.5 cubic meter or 1.95 cubic yard, required is 1. Dump truck, 12.
Ayan, may low rate attach siya doon sa truck tractor na yun ang itila. Kapag may truck tractor pa siya, hindi ano na rin lang natin. Kasi low trailer meron siya, hindi yan naanda kung wala kang truck.
For item 25FH0068, the equipments are a loader, capacity is 1.5 cubic meter or 1.95 cubic yard, required is 1. Dump truck, 12 cubic yard, required is 1. Backhoe, 0.80 cubic meter or 1.05 cubic yard, required is 1. Backhoe with pavement breaker, 0.80 cubic yard or 1.05 cubic yard, 0.80 cubic meter or 1.05 cubic yard, required is 1. Motorized road grader, 160 HP, required is 1. Road roller or road roller vibratory, 10 metric tons, required is 1. Water truck or pump, 16,000 liters, required is 1. Transit mixer, 5 cubic feet per minute, required is 1. Cargo truck, 9 to 10 metric tons, required is 1. Cargo truck, 2 to 5 metric tons, required is 1. Concrete vibrator, required is 1. Concrete batching plant with a validation certificate, required is 1.
Wala nakalagay na capacity. Naka-30. Hanggang wala. Yan ang very
Concrete spreader, required is 1. Concrete saw, 14 inches blade diameter with 4 and 3/4 inches cutting depth, required is 1. Reaper cutter, single phase, required is 1. Joint sealer machine, required is 1. 1 ladder concrete mixer, required is 1. Applicator machine, required is 1. Kneading machine, required is 1. Loaded trader, required is 1. For 25FH0077, equipments are dump truck, capacity is 12 cubic yard, required is 1. Backhoe, 0.80 cubic meter, required is 1. Vibro hammer, 16 tons, required is 1. Motorized road grader, 160 HP, required is 1. Vibratory roller, 10 metric tons, required is 1. Wire truck or pump, 16,000 liters, required is 1. Crawler crane, 36 to 40 tons, required is 1. Cargo truck, 9 to 10 metric tons, required is 1. Payloader, 1.50 cubic meter, required is 1. Transit mixer, 5 cubic meter, required is 1. Batching plant, 30 cubic meter, required is 1. Joint sealer machine, required is 1.
calibration certificate. Ano na lang, kasi huwag mo nang galawin niya kasi naka-advertise siya, ganyan. Mag-ulit na lang tayo.
For ID number 25FH0093, the equipments are backhoe, capacity 0.80 cubic meter or 1.05 cubic yard, required is 1. Dump truck, 12 cubic yard, required is 1. Vibratory pay compactor, required is 1. 1 bagger mixer, 4 to 6 cubic feet per minute, required is 1. Rebar cutter, single phase, all models, required is 1. Rebar bender, required is 1. Welding machine, required is 1. Cutting outfit, required is 1. Machine drill press, required is 1. Truck mounted crane, 21 to 25 metric tons, required is 1. For financial requirements, duly signed bid form, all pages must have signature box in the standard format of the bid form. Duly signed bill of quantities including summary of bid prices. Duly signed or initial detailed estimates. Further instructions or clarifications on the submission of technical and financial documents. Bidders are required to include ISO 9001:2015 certification or its latest versions applicable as part of the project requirements in the bidding documents for infrastructure projects through requirement number 110 series of 2024. Implementation of ISO 9001:2015 certification requirement for large A, medium B, and medium A contractors in the of infrastructure projects of the department. For those who wish to use these for declaration and security, use the new format for Department Memorandum Circular 85 Series of 2020 uploaded in the Philjack DPWH. Similarly, use the uploaded new Omnibus Form Statement format. Prospective bidders are required to use the appropriate or correct format of the Omnibus Form Statement pertaining to the authority of the signatory according to the type of the business organization, for example, single proprietorship, corporate, cooperative, or joint venture. Failure to do so will be treated as a misdeclaration by the prospective bidder and will be a ground for the non-compliance of the bid. Prospective bidders are reminded of the provision that equipment capacity is specified in the bid data sheet shall be mandatory in absence of the same shall disqualify the contractor. All requirements stated in the bid data sheet are mandatory, hence in the same manner that the items of work and the corresponding quantities involved are fixed and mandatory in the bill of quantities. The type of equipment, their respective capacities, and number of units required are also mandatory in the list of equipment pledged for the contract. Failure of the prospective bidder to state a complete technical description of the pledged equipment and the specific location, whether owned, leased, or under purchase agreement, shall result in the bidder's automatic post-disqualification and forfeiture of the bid security. The TWG shall conduct inspection of the pledged equipment as to their availability and efficiency. Equipment pledged for one awarded project shall not be pledged to another project bid out on the same date or immediate date after the bidding of the awarded project. Equipment pledged on several projects bid out on the same date wherein the bidder is potentially the winner of these projects will be ground for the bidder's post-disqualification in other projects. Review documents to be submitted is to avoid ineligibility and non-compliance of bid. Check the validity of permits, licenses, registrations, and clearances. Check the completeness of the form and substance of the bid security, affidavits, declarations, and other notarized documents. Use the new bid form for infrastructure GBT Resolution number 16-2020 and circularize in the DPWH through the 85 series of 2020. All entries required in the bill of quantities, such as those for the unit price of birds and figures and the total price per item for both lump sum and non-lump sum items of work, should be properly filled. Lump sum cost in the bill of quantities must be supported with detailed cost estimates showing the direct and indirect costs including tax. Provision of overhead contingencies and miscellaneous for special items under the general requirements and facilities for the engineer shall not be accepted. Discounts offered in handwritten text and the bid form should be signed or initialed by the authorized managing officer who is authorized to sign the bid documents. Otherwise, the discount will not be accepted. Erasures and delineation, overwriting, alterations in any document should likewise be signed or initialed by the authorized managing officer. Brief explanations on the criteria for eligibility screening, preliminary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, and post-qualification. Process and criteria for eligibility processing shall be in accordance with sections 62.1 and 62.2 of the IR of RA 1200. And the contract profile based on the 164 series of 2025 revised guidelines for the determination of majors and similar categories. Electronic eligibility processing through the civil works application shall be conducted simultaneously or ahead of the opening of the technical documents, depending on the consistency of the network connectivity with the CWCs. Preliminary examination of bids shall be conducted in accordance with section 59 of the IRR of RA 12009. Bids that fail to include any requirement from the checklist or FMP for passing insufficient shall be considered as failed. Detailed evaluation of bids shall be in accordance with section 61 of the IRR of RA 12009. Bids shall be checked as to completeness, or if medical corrections will be performed on computational errors, and omissions will be corrected to enable proper comparison and equal footing of all its eligible bids. Post-qualification shall be conducted in accordance with Rule 10, post-qualification of the IRR of RA 12009. Verification, validation, and ascertainment of all statements made and documents submitted by the bidder with the lowest calculated bid using non-discretionary criteria as stated in the bidding documents covering the legal, technical, and financial requirements. DPWH Procurement 102. Infrastructure shall govern the procurement. Instructions on the purchase of bidding documents. Only the owner of the firm or the authorized representatives named in CRC shall be allowed to transact business relative to bidding matters and purchase bidding documents per DO 176, series of 1993, and as reiterated in DO 187, series of 2001. Those representatives not included in the CRC are required to submit special power of attorney or secretary certificate, whichever is applicable. The authorized representatives issued with SPA or secretary certificate shall be required to present 2 valid IDs and a printout copy of the document request list from the PhilJet's posting of the contract to bid showing the name of their construction firm. The box secretary will not be responsible for the failure of the bidder to pay the bidding document in time, for the bid dropping due to late arrival, delayed processing of the order of payment or collection order, and late payment of the bidding documents. Loss of the order of payment and supporting documents already released or issued by the box secretariat is not the responsibility of the box secretary. Only the signatory may cancel or revise the duly signed letter of authority to purchase bid documents. Bidding documents payments made for cancelled projects due to no funds approved or released and for disapproved modification and for late release projects that have already exceeded the 3-month period for award by non-refundables and under policy of the DPWH Regional Office 5. All prospective bidders shall attach to the technical component of the bidding document the following: straight line diagram in accordance with the templates described under annexes A-3 and B-5A to D of DO number 246 series of 2024. Latest general information sheet reflecting the beneficial ownership information duly received by the Securities and Exchange Commission for corporations and sworn affidavit of eligibility and beneficial ownership following the templates as shown in pages 22 and 23 of the bidding forms, invitation to bid, and GCC, including sole proprietorship. Instructions on the submission and drafting of bids. Following the checklist of the technical and financial document requirements uploaded to the bidding documents to the contract to the bid, absence of any required document shall be considered as failure of compliance on the required document and non-compliance of the bid. Chronologically arrange the documents in accordance with the checklist for the technical and financial documents. Provide an extent pagination and security behind the documents. Affix initial on all the pages of the documents. The initials of the pages together with the pagination affirm the authenticated pages that they are indeed part of the submitted bid documents. Submit duly signed original no-machine copy of the bid documents. Machine copies of the documents must be from the original. Place the original technical document in an envelope and securely seal it. Put a marking on the envelope containing the following text: original technical document. The name of the chairperson, name and address of the procuring entity, the contract ID, and the name of the project indicate but not open before 10 a.m. on July 6, 2026. Do the same for the original financial documents and put both the original technical and financial envelopes into one outer envelope. Label the outer envelope as original bid, including the outer text with the marking. Do the same above procedures with a copy by marking the envelope as copy 1 for the technical and financial envelopes as well as the outer envelope. Put the envelopes labeled original bid and copy 1 in one mother envelope and put the marking containing the text, name of the back chairperson, name and address of the procuring entity, the contract ID, and name of the project, and indicate do not open before 10 a.m. on July 6, 2026. Some of the illustration in the instructions on submission and dropping of bids. Other important matters. Prospective bidders are encouraged to conduct site inspection for them to determine whether this is the right project for them. Decisions of the BAC amending any provision of the bidding documents shall be issued in writing through a supplemental or bid within at least 7 calendar days before the deadline for the submission and receipt of bids. Minutes of the pre-bid conference will be posted in the BAC bulletin board, and prospective bidders are encouraged to read the minutes. Prospective bidders are also encouraged to regularly visit the postings and affiliates and DPWH websites to keep themselves abreast of supplemental and bid release that may be issued by them. Prospective bidders are also encouraged to purchase key documents ahead of the bid drawing schedule. Prospective bidders' key personnel shall submit copies of their valid and updated PRC licenses or accreditation whichever needed. Possible costly failure of bidding are: no bids are received, all prospective bidders are declared ineligible, all bids fail to comply with all bid documents or fail post-qualification, or the bidder below is calculated responsive bid refuses without justifiable cause to accept the awarded contract, and no award is made in accordance with Section 42 of the Act and expired order.
Okay, thank you, Engineer Miguel. So, do you have any questions, members of the back? Yeah, if there are something that was added or maybe of course in the pre-bid like the track part, it will be included in our bid for the bid. So with this, the end user, do you have any concerns, ma'am? No. So, thank you. With this, there being no additional topics to be discussed and no further queries from prospective bidders online or here in this forum, the free bid conference for contract IDs. Walang contract IDs. The contract ID 25F80061. Organizational outcome, ensure a safe and reliable national road system, asset preservation program, preventive maintenance, secondary roads, Catanduanes, circumferential road. Of course, we have 25F80062. We also have 25F80063. Also, we have 25FH 0064, 65. Also, we have 67. 25F80068, 0077, 25F80077. And we also have 25F80093. So, this rebate conference for this following contract IDs is hereby adjourned. Thank you for attending and thank you as well for those watching in our live coverage of this rebate conference if there are any. Thank you, BE. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ano?